Kulusevski, and Kane's not really been picked up here, and that could be dangerous. Very dangerous. He's just rolled it in. One back by Richarlison. Kane can't miss. That should be it for Tottenham.
Harry Kane at the double. Spurs victory by 2-0 here against Nottingham Forest. Doesn't really begin to tell the story of what we've seen here at the City Ground this afternoon. Jamie Carragher has rejoined Jamie Redknapp and Michael Dawson. What do you make of it? What's your first assessment of that game?
Oh, well, it was a good game of football. I believe that Nottingham Forest will be really, really disappointed. I thought they were magnificent. I really did. In the final third, could have been a little bit more clinical. Had opportunities. First half, you know, putting in areas where he changed, and Ryan Yates in the second half, the header. I think Jamie said it in commentary. That's a big chance. Ryan Yates gets them chances. If he scores, it's a completely different game. I mean, but Spurs do what they do. Harry Kane scores goals, missed the penalty. Eventful second half, but better performance for Spurs in the second for me.
Does the scoreline, Jamie, reflect the balance of play, do you think?
No, not at all. But there's been many a time when we've watched Spurs over the years when they've gone to clubs and not had the result that they wanted. They've had to dig in today. They defended well. Big moments went their way. And when you've got players and you can bring on players and the strength in depth that Tottenham now have, it gives you a massive chance. You see what Richarlison did when he came on, made a goal, looked a real threat going forward. Harry, it wasn't his best day, certainly second half, but he still notches. And it was just a big 3 points for him. But I loved what I saw from Forest today. Real energy. If they keep that up, they won't have a problem staying in this Premier League. It's just a case of can they maintain that week in, week out. But I was very impressed with them today.
But for Spurs, Jamie, is there another a counter-argument that also says they weren't probably at their best, but they're still able to churn out professional performances and get those big results?
Yes, I mean, just watching Spurs this season, I didn't see the first game of the season, the full 90 minutes, but I saw them here today, saw them against Chelsea and against Wolves, and they've looked a little bit, I'd say lethargic, really, but got the job done. Now, is that a deliberate ploy from the manager to actually almost let the opposition control the game, or is it Spurs will get better as the season goes on? I just look at them, you know, playing like that, and you can easily flip that result. If that ends up 1-1...
Don't say anything bad about Harry.
Okay. Okay.
He's behind you.
Harry, how are you?
Good. Congratulations, Harry.
Thank you.
What did you make of that then?
A good win, first and foremost. Difficult place to come. You know, the atmosphere here is really good. Didn't play our best, that's for sure. We know that, especially in the first half. But all in all, you know, we dug in. I think there's been a couple of games like that this season already, but we've got the 3 points, which is the most important. But for sure, we know we can do better.
Interesting to hear you say that, because we looked at that first half and we saw you as a team drop quite deep, allow them to have the ball. Was that not a deliberate ploy?
No, I think that was just, I think we've done that in the first half a lot this year already, and then it's taken us kind of a wake-up call until the second half. Then we'd be a bit more aggressive. We become better on the ball because of it. And then, obviously today we got away with it in the first half being 1-0 up, but could have easily been a different story. So for sure, it's something we need to fix, and quickly. We've got a lot of games coming up in a short space of time, so we can't afford to not start the first half well.
Did you expect that level of intensity from Forest today and this crowd?
Yeah, I think any Premier League game, we always expect a tough game, especially away from home. And look, we've had a great pre-season. We feel physically really good. We're just not quite showing it yet. But
what do you think that is?
It's hard to say, you know. At the end of the day, we're still winning games, which is the most important. I feel like second half we're definitely showing physically that we're becoming stronger as the game goes on. But yeah, look, there's a long season left. We're still grinding out wins when we're not playing our best, which is important. And yeah, we've got another important game on Wednesday where we've got to try and start well.
The best start in a long time for Tottenham, Harry. Does it feel slightly different this season with the manager and the players that you've brought in?
Yeah, look, I think we've got a fantastic manager. We've got a really strong squad. I think we're going to need that squad over the next period, all the way until the international break. You know, we've got a game every 3 or 4 days, and it's going to be a really busy schedule. So it's really important players who are coming in, who haven't quite started a lot of games yet, are ready for that opportunity. But yeah, look, we're in a good place. We started well. But as we know in the Premier League, it can soon turn round. So we just got to keep focused, keep working, and hopefully keep winning games.
I know you're still catching your breath, but we'll get you to do some analysis for us, Harry.
Yep.
Let's have a look at your first goal this afternoon. And really what we were saying is 5 minutes in, you hadn't shown too much going forward, and then Bang, counter-attack goal.
We knew the way they like to press was going to be 3v3 quite a lot with against their defence. And here I just kind of, it's a bit of a scruffy finish, but then ones go in. So the touch was good. The touch allowed me to kind of be able to rather open up and go to the keeper's left or whip it like I ended up doing. Of course, the contact weren't as good as I wanted, but thankfully it went in.
This is a good angle for you, Harry. Are you trying to use the defender and then sort of reverse it into the other corner?
Yeah, that's exactly. The touch allowed me to open up my body and give me two options, you know, and the defender kind of just stepped across and his momentum was taking him across, and it allowed me just to kind of last-minute change. And sometimes that happens. You don't hit it the best, but they still go in.
Second half, a contentious moment, a penalty given to you. You're challenging for the ball with Steve Cook, whose hand goes up. I saw you, or him, chatting to you in the second half, trying to explain what had happened. But what was your take on it?
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but if this isn't denying a goal-scoring opportunity, then I don't know what is.
You think you're heading that, do you?
For sure. There's no doubt about it.
The officials were saying it was too high. That's why they didn't send him off.
No, I'm not. The game's over. I'm just really surprised with the decision, but look,
You think you're heading down?
I don't know what else to say. Thankfully it didn't matter in the end.
Straight away, you know you've got a penalty. The thought process starts of how you're beating an England squad teammate in Dean Henderson. Are the mind games starting very quickly there?
Well, of course, it's one of them where I've practiced a lot against Dean with England, and I practiced a lot during the week, and I'm pretty focused on what I want to do with the penalty. Just didn't quite strike it how I wanted to. That was a nice height for him. I normally like to go rather low or high, and that was just kind of in the middle. So,
what was on that particular one? Were you aiming low or high?
I was trying to go high, and I just didn't quite connect how I wanted to. But fair play to him. He's made a good save, and we had a laugh about it.
What did he say to you at the end?
No, he kind of said we was analysing it all week, thinking about where I was going to go, and fair play to him. He's made a great save. He saved one this year already against West Ham, so he's obviously a really good shot stopper. I thought he played fantastic today for them as well. So thankfully it didn't matter for us, because I wouldn't have been smiling like that. But fair play to him.
You got the second goal, and that, I suppose, killed the game off in some ways. It's interesting how it actually comes about, because it looks like there's a really good opportunity here to play you in by Ryan Sessegnon, first of all.
Yeah, I think he was just in two minds what way to go, and he kind of he took maybe an extra touch or so, and we just lost the opportunity. But I got my hands in my head there a little bit, and then thankfully Richie wins the ball back, and I just kind of find myself in a good position. He puts a great delivery in with the outside of his foot, and then ones are always nice just to head home and kind of seal the win.
This is the best movement we've seen all day, Harry. Watch this.
Yeah, but that's what I always say as a striker: just be ready for ready for the next opportunity, and great ball by Richie, and I was there to put it away.
Harry, can I ask you about the role of Richarlison? He's obviously made an impact. You see the ball he's put in there. When he came on at Chelsea, he made a difference as well. We also seen Son. You wouldn't have seen it when he come off on the bench. He was obviously disappointed, and that's normal. You haven't had that before. How important is it for you and the other, Kulusevski and Son, to deal with that situation when you've got real competition coming from the bench?
Yeah, I think if you want to be a top team, you're going to have to compete for every position, and I think that's what we've created with the squad that we have now. Richie's, whenever he's had an opportunity to play, whenever he's trained, he's done really, really well, and he's biting at the bit to play. And like I touched on at the start of this, we have a lot of games coming up, so we're going to need everyone. Of course, I know Sonny might be frustrated with maybe not scoring yet in the season, but Sonny's a really important player for us, and if we're going to achieve anything this year, we need Sonny to keep doing what he's doing, working hard for the team. He'll pop up with goals, no doubt. But also when players are maybe just not quite out, you need players off the bench to make an impact, and Richie's definitely doing that. On
an individual basis, Harry, I'm sure you're aware their records keep tumbling, and you're getting ever closer to some big names in the Premier League, on level with Andy Cole today on 187, now just 21 behind Rooney, and a little bit further, 73 behind Alan Shearer. And in terms of league goals, we perhaps don't talk about so much, but look at this. Most league goals in the top 4 divisions since you got your first back in January 2011. Well, you're right out there, clear in front. I bet you remember the first, don't you? Special one for Orient?
Yeah, no, absolutely. 17 years old, here we are, look at this. Nearly missed it, to be fair, at the back post, but it feels like a lifetime ago, but yeah, look, a young Hurricane there, but look, I still feel good.
Does it feel as special, that moment now, when the ball goes in the net, as it did back then?
Not see his reaction, but it did come across to him. I think it does.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think scoring a goal is one of the best feelings in the world, and obviously I was lucky enough to do it there for Orient at 17 and still doing it now, and long may it continue.
Look, what do you think you can achieve this season, realistically?
Yeah, look, I think I'm not going to rule anything out, but also I know there's a lot of top teams in the Premier League and in the European, in the Champions League. So, of course, we're aiming to be successful and to win something, like I've said for a long time now. But we just can't get carried away. We started really well. I said earlier, we've got a great squad, a great manager. I can feel amongst the fans a lot of excitement, which is great. But I said it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, there's a lot of games to play, and we just got to make sure that we just kind of keep knocking them off when we're not playing well, keep winning games, and see we've still got a World Cup in between, so we'll come after the World Cup, see where we're at, and go from there.
Is Alan Shearer in your sights? 73, I think it is, to equal him.
Yeah, look, it's still a long way away for sure, but I feel fit. I feel like I've got many more years left in the locker. So yeah, look, every season I want to score goals. I want to be amongst those names we just saw there, and I'm excited for the challenge. You know, Alan and Wayne, two of the best strikers England have ever had. So even to be in that category is nice for me. But for sure, I want to keep pushing myself, see how far I can go, and so far it's been a good start to the season.
I've got something for you before you go. Jamie wanted me to trick you and say it was for somebody else. Player of the match. I hope you've still got room on the mantelpiece, Harry, for all these accolades.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Well done.
Thank
you very much.
Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. See you soon, mate.
73 short of Alan Shearer. He's just behind us. Be careful. he's still fit. He's still functioning. How many more years can he go on for? Is it realistic?
Yeah, it's realistic. I mean, we were looking at the stats earlier, how many goals he's going to have to score for the next 5 or 6 years, 15 to 20 to equal that. That'll make him to 34, 35. It's a big ask at this day and age. I look at the speed of the game. But Harry does what Harry does. I look at his performances and the whole team. He gets goals whenever he's going through a dip. He'll always pick himself in the middle of the goals where goal scorers score goals. You don't get that many goals playing out wide, middle of the sticks, and he gets his 2 goals today.
What is he doing? 29?
29.
29. Yeah. So if he plays for 6 more seasons, he's got to get an average of 12 goals. 12 or so, 12, 13 goals. Yeah. That's doable. Barring any injuries, I can see him doing it.
Let's show you some more really interesting statistics to compare him to Alan Shearer. It's remarkable how they've got to this point, having played 286 Premier League games. At one stage during this afternoon, they were both on 186. And of course, Harry got his second and has gone on to 187. But after this stage, so how does, you've done a bit of maths there, Jamie, but how does
Better than mine, Jamie.
chase down Alan Shearer in the next few seasons? I'll tell you what, let's hold that thought, because in my eye line, I can now see
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer come to. No, let's talk to the Spurs manager, Antonio Conte.
How are you? Good to see you.
He's coming to join us.
Yeah.
Antonio.
How are you?
Hi, nice to see you. Congratulations on today. What did you think of the game? Tell us your impression of your team this afternoon.
The game was tough. Was really tough. For me, it was the first time to play in this stadium. I think to play in this stadium is not easy for the player. A lot of noise around the pitch. And the first half, I think we suffer. We suffer the aggressivity. They won many duels, and but at the same time, I think that we were compact to try in every moment to exploit the space and to create problems to Nottingham Forest. In the second half, I think we controlled much better the game. I think in the first half, I asked between the first half and the second half to move the ball and to pass more between with our midfielders. Instead, in the first half, we didn't do it. And for Nottingham Forest, sometimes was easy, to press, to put pressure. In the second half, I think that I have seen good things. I repeat, it's not easy to come here and to get 3 points against Nottingham Forest. Another clean sheet for us. I think this group of players, they are improving now in resilience and also to learn to suffer together, to be compact. At the same time, I think that with the ball, they know very well that we have to continue to improve and to try to play the ball more quickly, to find the passes line that we work during the week. And yeah, but at the end, I'm satisfied for the 3 points.
Purely in terms of points, this is the best start for 13 years since Jamie's father was the manager. But are you really happy with the level of performances so far, or do you think there's a lot more to come from this team?
I think that for sure we have to try to continue to improve, and especially with the ball, we have to continue to have more personality to play. I repeat, during the week we try a lot, no, and the offensive situation, the passes line. Then you know very well, and we were players, and the game sometimes is different because there is a lot of pressure, there is a lot of noise, there is sometimes you are a bit scared, no, to make a bad pass, and
It sounds a bit like, Antonio, that your players were surprised by the intensity here this afternoon and the noise and the atmosphere.
No, surprise, no, because I was really clear with them, and I showed them the way to attack, and also the pressure that the way, no, the pressure that Nottingham Forest would have during the game, and I think also for this reason that we overcome difficult moments during the game. But you know very well, and the training is one thing sometimes, and then the game become difficult because there is really a lot of pressure, no? And I repeat, I was player, and I know, and during the training session sometimes you play and you are calm, you are relaxed because you can make a mistake. You don't pay attention because it's a training session. But under this aspect, I think we have to improve, and for other aspect, I think that to come here and to get 3 points in this way with a 2-0, and also because we created many chances, we missed the penalty. Another clean sheet is another good step, especially for my team, because in the past many people said to me that this type of game probably Tottenham was going to lose, no, for the pressure, for the noise, for the intensity.
Antonio, you just mentioned then the mentality of Tottenham. That's something has always been questioned maybe for a long time, maybe the history of the club. Was that something you found when you came in, you had to almost put yourself or your DNA into this club and try and change the mentality?
Yeah, for sure we are working also in this aspect, and I think is important. The mental aspect is really important because if you are strong mentally, you survive in this type of situation. If you are weak, and then you suffer the opponent, you suffer the noise, you suffer difficult situation. I think we are improving a lot under this aspect, and for sure we have to continue to work, and we are working only 9 months with this team, and you are seeing very well that we try to improve the squad, no, and this is on under numerical, under quality aspect, and because we have to face for competition, but for sure the road is long for us, and other team are in front of us. But at the same time, we want to try to be competitive, to fight for something important. And there is only one way, to continue to work, to improve the confidence, and to believe in ourselves. And step that, in my experience, and you know very well, you need to do. No, and sometimes only when you win something. You get a belief, a confidence, and because you know that you are a winner, and then you become strong. I think we are doing well, and we have started this path, For sure, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy, and I know this, and this season, Premier League is very difficult. A league very difficult, and you can see that every club spend a lot of money to improve the squad, and every club, not only the top club. For this reason, it means that you can improve your team, but you know that the other team have the same idea, no, to improve.
We're enjoying watching it. We're enjoying the battle in these early stages. Antonio, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Very much.
Congratulations today. Antonio Conte, the winning
goal enough for the amount of good positions that we got in, the amount of balls we got in and around their box. And in the end, that's why you want to play the football that you play, is to score goals. So disappointed with that. I thought it was a great finish, the first goal. But I thought we were unlucky with the press. The ricochet came off Lewis's shin, I think, and put Kane in the position that he got in. And that's, you work all week to try and stop that. So we were a bit unlucky. And then the second goal, it got a bit open-ended where we were trying to get back in the game. And I accept that, you know, we give probably too many counter-attacks away, but we're trying to get back in the game. That's the mentality that we want. But then we've lost our we've lost our markers in the box, and we've left him free. But listen, loads of good things to take out of the game, and I ain't going to be narrow-minded enough not to see that. But at the same time, you know, we're not here just to take part. We want to not just play well, we want to win, and we haven't.
Well, one thing we've learnt from Nottingham Forest's time in the Premier League so far in these first 4 matches under Steve Cooper is they are going to give it a go. They're going to play to their style, and they're going to stick with that style, Alan. Is it going to win them enough points to stay in the division, though?
That's a really difficult question. I think they'll give it a right good go with that crowd at the ground, with the attitude of the players. I don't think that will ever be in question. I just worry about the number of players he's had to bring in and has brought in.
17.
It's difficult to get them all to gel, and also the quality, because we know the difference between where they were last year and where they are today. And it would concern me a little bit. They just lack that quality at both ends of the pitch in terms of being in the box when they were creating chances. I mean, they created 2 or 3 good ones today. We highlighted at half-time the great work from Brennan Johnson when he gets down to the right-hand side. There's actually no one in the box to stick it away. And then when you get punished at this level, it's ruthless, it's brutal at the Premier League level, because you're playing against some of the world's best, and when you make mistakes, more often than not, the ball ends up in the back of the net. But they do create, and that will be the one plus that he will take from that. They did create chances, but on the negative side, I just think, who's going to put those chances away for them?
Yeah, Yates and Williams, 2 new signings, were with the best chances that we just saw there from Nottingham Forest in the game, Tim. But Jesse Lingard was withdrawn in the second half. He played around 60-odd minutes in the match. Was he doing enough for you today?
No, I think Jesse can play better. I think he's got to really grab the game by the scruff of the neck, because he's the man who's got the Premier League experience. He's played at a top level. He scored goals at this level as well. He needs to get more forward, like we talked about in half-time. He needs to break forward a lot more. Him and Gibbs-White, I think he's got real quality. I think they're in a relegation battle, even from this stage. I really do. I think they're going to struggle right to the end of the season. It's going to be touch and go. It's hard to predict whether they're going to go down or not. One thing's for sure, Steve Cooper's sides are going to go right to the end, and they're going to try and take the game to the opposition. That's exactly why. They only know one way. You know, from when he came into that football club, they were bottom of the league, rock bottom of the championship, took over from Chris Hughton, completely changed the way he wanted to play, and took them to promotion to the Holy Grail. Brilliant for that manager. I just think they need to keep going, keep believing. That's first and foremost, that's what you need to do.
Every club, almost every club, is looking for that guy who are going to be in the position that Forest are going to be in. It'll be brilliant if they were to avoid relegation this season. Then they can build again. But every club within that league in that position is looking for a guy to put the ball in the back of the net 12, 13, 14 times. And if they do that, then that gets you up 5 or 6 places. Yeah,
well, that was just one of 3 matches in the Premier League today. Coming up after the break, we'll focus on the other 2 as Newcastle picked up a point at Wolves, and also West Ham got their first victory of the season as well.